And welcome back to Game Escape, here today with a collections video. I wanted to talk about my PlayStation 2 collections and kind of do one of those videos where, you know, you show your games. You just kind of take a kind of walk down memory lane, go through your collection, and hopefully it's interesting. I have about 112 PS2 games, so this video is going to be broken up into multiple parts. And if you'd like to see more of this, you know, just give the video a like, and you know, perhaps one day I'll go through everything I have in my gaming closet. But I wanted to start with the PS2 because for me, the PS2 was the system that got me back into gaming. It just had this extensive, amazing library that grew in variety and depth throughout the course of its commercial life. And it's the system that kind of got me back into gaming. After I went to college, you know, I'd left my PS1 at home and had kind of left my interest in gaming at home in a certain sense. And I had a roommate who had a PS2, and it was really impressive. But when I had done a lot of traveling, and I lived in Europe for a bit, when I got back, when I graduated college, the gift that I gave to myself was a PS2. And just kind of really enjoyed collecting for it. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on each game. Obviously I can't. I have a lot of sports titles that I'll just kind of skip, so you won't actually see the full 112 games. But let's take a look. Just have it all lined up a bit randomly here. First game is Persona 4. What a wonderful game. I've played through probably about half of it now. I picked it up on the PS Vita and was really going well and progressing through it. But then I had to switch. I have a Japanese PSN account and a US account. And I was playing on my Japanese account when I first got the system, but of course that meant that you had to get if you wanted to switch accounts, you had to reset the system, get a new memory card, and so it's going to be such a hassle to go back and kind of reset up the PS Vita to finish this game. I may do it one day. I may actually return to this PlayStation 2 version and see if I can finally get through Persona 4. It's one of my bucket list achievements that I'd like to have in gaming. Next up we have the Capcom Classics Collection. This is a really nice compilation. I got it a couple months ago, and I've really been enjoying playing the Street Fighter 2. Just the classic Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champions Edition games. Really fun. I use my X-Arcade gaming stick, which is, you know, it's not the greatest fight stick in the world, but, you know, just to play the old Street Fighter 2 that I remember playing at my local pool, it's pretty good. And then you can see on the back here, it's got Ghosts and Goblins, it's got Captain Commando, so just a ton of fun to be had with the Capcom Classics collection. Alright, this game, I have no idea what it is. I picked this up for 99 cents. Galaxy Angel 2, sealed. If anyone out there knows what it is, let me know. I have no clue, and I think it's some sort of dating simulator, but 99 cents, not a bad pickup. Sticking with some of the imports, this is Fate Unlimited Code, and it's a really terrific Capcom fighting game. It's a 3D fighter, but its controls almost feel like a classic Capcom 2D game. I don't really know anything about this anime, but it is a lot of fun. Players have sort of supernatural abilities, and you sort of, you know, beef them up throughout the fight, and it's really good if you can find it. This is the best price version. Got this from PlayAsia. Just want to say something about importing. I believe it was 2007. I discovered the PS2 essentially boot discs. I forget what they're called actually. I'll put it in one of the videos. But there's been a couple. There have been a couple released, and if you have one of the newer model, the PS2 Slims, it's a really easy mod to do. It's basically you just open it up, take a spring out of the cover, and you put a little piece of paper in there's this little slot where the top cover locks with the base of the system. You do that, use the boot disc, you can play all sorts of import titles. Xenosaga. I don't recall playing this. I don't know when I got it. I know it's a really popular game for the system. Leave me a comment below and maybe try to convince me that I should put this in. I just haven't had the time, honestly, and I may have picked this up at a GameStop like 5 years ago, and I've never gotten to it. Soul Calibur 3. Soul Calibur 3 is a fairly decent game. I really like Soul Calibur 2 for the system. It's more of the same, solid. Picked it up, I guess, for $9 at one of those game day sales, and I would say it was, for $9, this was worth it. Alright, next up on my list, we have a sports game, Madden 2005, my favorite Madden of all time. I think this game really refined a lot of the mechanics of the PS2 era Madden games, which were much better than PS3 and even PS4 Madden games. You could play a lot of historic teams, and it had a very distinctive look. It couldn't compete graphically with ESPN 2K5, but it really had solid gameplay. And I don't know, the look of the game, the lighting, the fact that you could, select your weather, which you still can't do even on the PS4 Madden, a lot of fun. Highly recommend this. Obviously, it's not going to be that interesting now, because, obviously 8 years on, but really fun game. Another sports game that I really liked on the PS2 was WWE Smackdown, Here Comes the Pain. The reason why this game is so good is that they didn't have a kind of refined control system down. Like now, I think that the WWE wrestling games, they play very slow. This was super fast-paced, had a great roster, probably even a better roster than the games have today, at least if you count the current wrestlers. And you could do all sorts of crazy things. Like, the system wasn't locked down. For instance, if you did a tables, ladders, and chairs match, you could actually stack, stack tables like 3 or 4 high and do a move and sort of crash through all of these tables, things like that. They were still experimenting with the mechanics of the game, but they kind of left it open to you in a really fun way, and it just plays so much faster than the games we have today. Definitely worth picking up if you can find it. It's probably like $1 or $2 now. Alright, if you've been following my channel, you know that I like Japanese gambling games, and this is a Sunsoft Pachinko game. I forget, I actually streamed this. Daiichi Pachinko machines. It's a pretty good game for the PS2 era. I'll give you a couple of tables. It's a fairly early release. It's not the best Pachinko game on the PS2, but it's not bad. NeoContra. Got this not too long ago for a couple of bucks. Haven't played it. If it's any good, let me know, and maybe I'll get a chance to pop it in the coming weeks. I did a review on this game, Namco Cross Capcom, the first one. It's, as I said in the review, it's kind of like a curiosity. It's not really a good game. Very bland, very repetitive. But it's got a good soundtrack, and it's just fun to play as all these characters. Project Cross Zone for the 3DS has all the same problems, but at least it's in English, and if you just want some fan service, this is a pretty good series. Dance Dance Revolution, I think I threw the pad away. I really played this maybe once, just as like for a party or something. Not very good. If you have a PlayStation 2 and you love racing, Burnout III Takedown, one of the best arcade racers of all time. Absolutely terrific, terrific game. Still holds up to this day. And I just love the Mayhem mode where you can sort of create the largest accident possible and rack up points. There have been a number of examples on a variety of systems. This one, you know, they actually, this may have been the last one before they did Burnout Paradise on the 360 PC and PS3. That was a really good game, but there was just something about this one that I liked better. I think this just captured that reckless fun and mayhem. So again, probably really, really cheap now. Pick it up if you can find it. Victorious Boxers 2. I did a review of the first Victorious Boxers, and I actually kind of liked that game, even though the control system was at times infuriating and it can be brutally hard. I played this very briefly, just because I found another one sort of floating out there in the wild. It's really not as good. They try to simplify things a little bit. There's a version on the Wii that's even simplified some more. It's I don't know, there's a couple different camera angles, but it's more or less the same story. I may give this another shot, but if you want to try out the series, and maybe you know the Hajime no Ippo anime, which is actually pretty good, try the first one. NFL 2K5, everyone's favorite football game, even to this day. I don't know, I kind of grew up with Madden, so I always leaned towards Madden, and I picked up both games this year because I actually started going to NFL games this in 2004, and I was like really, really into it, and I wanted to have both. This was only $20. Really, really scared Madden. Of course, then they got the exclusive license, but this game actually didn't perform so well on the PS2. Lots and lots of slowdown. There's actually slowdown in Madden as well, but it was more pronounced here. You didn't get the halftime show with the full highlights. If you want to play the best version of this game, get it on the Xbox. I was going to say Xbox One, the original Xbox. The Mega Man X collection. This, you know, actually, I'm not sure that I've played this one. I've played all of these games, so I can't comment. I was going to sing the praises of this game, but it's the actual original Mega Man that I spent a lot of time with. But you know, these are really, really nice collections. Happy that they came out on the PS2. The King of Fighters 9, an import game, and actually one of the most beautiful 2D fighters on the system. This game is the Greatest Hits collection. I got this was like floating around eBay for $10, and I just kind of picked it up because what the heck. But I was really, really surprised. I mean, it's classic King of Fighters, but gorgeous, gorgeous 2D art style. If you can find it, you know, for anywhere under $20, I would definitely recommend this one. Okay, you know I'm into Japanese gambling, and this is maybe one of my favorite Mahjong games of all time. This is so good. I did in my Mahjong retrospective video. I talked about this one. This is the Mondo 21 Cup competition. This is part of the Mahjong Pro Kiwami series from Athena. Probably the last really good game they had in that series, and not a lot of people play Mahjong, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But if you like Mahjong and you have a PS2, hunt one of these down. Terrific, terrific game. Super, super challenging. Game Day from 989 Sports. This, you know, there was a while there where I used to play the Game Day series on the PS1, Game Day 98, really, really good football game. I thought I might try this out on the PS2. Graphics look pretty good, but it's actually a very, very poor game. Lots of slowdown. Can't hold a candle to ESPN or Madden on the system. Let's see. I am a big fan of wrestling, and there's a lot of Japanese wrestling games on the PlayStation 2, and this is Wrestle Kingdom. I like this because it had a pretty good roster, good graphics. Um, this is basically WWE Day of Reckoning game for the GameCube, just with I think a more forgiving control scheme and a pretty nice roster of Japanese wrestlers. So if you like that stuff, pick it up.